Thank you again to Sharing Excess for this beautiful bounty. We have these beautiful orange peppers. I've got 4 cases. And this is a popular student favorite. They wanted the creamy tomato soup, but I'm gonna jazz it up a little bit. We're gonna make it a roasted pepper and tomato soup. So let me start getting everything ready. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna roast our tomatoes, and I simply do that by putting them on a sheet pan with nothing else on it, and we're going to put it into a 425 degree oven and roast them until they're popping and a little bit of charred blackness on the skin, and that'll take about 45 minutes.
Hello friends, I appreciate you being here. Please watch the video to the end so you can see the whole recipe, and help me out. Would you please click like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you more recipes.
So I have 3 pints of grape tomatoes on this half sheet pan, and I'm gonna drizzle it with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And you can use regular or extra virgin. Since this is a soup, I don't mind either one. They're both good. And just sort of like give it a little bit of shake, and then we're gonna put it in a 425 degree oven. Now we also need to roast our peppers, so I'm going to remove the core and then slice them in half, and we'll roast them this way on the sheet pan with a little bit of oil over it too, olive oil. And then what we'd have to do after it comes out of the oven is it's gonna get charred. We're gonna wrap it in saran wrap so that way it'll sweat, and then we can remove the skin. I have my half sheet pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil on here, and I just wanna put this down, face down, get the olive oil on it just so that way it won't stick as well, and get these into the oven, and they need to roast until they're charred. I'm not sure exactly of the time of that, so I will make sure I note it. Probably 30 minutes. Here we go. That was at 425 degrees. Just got it out of the oven. That was 45 minutes. And now I've got to get in our peppers. There we go. Now spread them out so they have room so the hot air can get around them. And I have the other ones still roasting too. Remember, I'm making a small batch for everybody at home, and then of course the big batch for us at school. And while the tomatoes are finishing roasting in the oven, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the bottom of our pan, and I have it over medium high heat. And this is a large Spanish onion diced. Go, and we're going to saute that until it is translucent. A little hot there. Now we're going to puree this soup with an immersion blender, so don't worry about your onion being cut perfectly. Here we are, roasted peppers. There was 425 degrees for 30 minutes, and you got a nice char on the top. Well, I had to teach a class, so I never got a chance to actually saran wrap these. However, if you're doing it at home, saran wrap them so they'll sweat. It makes it easy to remove the skin. So this has been sitting here for quite a while, and I can just simply remove the skin easily now. And we want to remove the skin on all of them, and then we're going to add them to our pot. And again, I'm using an immersion blender, so I don't need to chop them up. If you're at home and you don't have an immersion blender, you can just put it all into an actual stand blender and do it that way. Or you could make this a chunky one and then cut this up into small pieces. All right, our onions have caramelized a bit, and I'm going to add in our roasted tomatoes. Let's get those in. You see all the juices that are going in? This is fantastic. Let's get them in there. Oh, I probably need 2 hands, so 1 second. There we go. Now we got them going in. All right, we're gonna stir that up, and then we're gonna add in our 4 roasted orange peppers. You could use yellow or red. I don't recommend green. Okay, so we're gonna add those in. And again, I'm using my immersion blender, so don't worry about having such big chunks. And we want to saute this for about, let's say, 4 minutes. All right, now we're going to add some flavorings. My students like a little spice, so that's half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And then we're going to add a bay leaf. All right, I got my bay leaves in there. I'm putting 2. And then we're going to put a teaspoon of oregano and a teaspoon of basil. There we go. We're gonna stir that all up while we're continuing to simmer it. And then we're gonna add in 2 cups of chicken broth, and then we'll add also 2 cups of water. All right, this has been simmering for about 20 minutes, and now I'm going to use my immersion blender to puree this whole oh wait, I got to get out the bay leaf. Hold on. All right, so I took out the bay leaves. Always keep track of how many you have in, and I can put them back in once it's pureed. Just make sure you remove it before serving. Although in some cultures, if you get the bay leaf in your soup, that's considered good luck, so you might want to leave it in. All right, and then this is a bit tricky, so let me get this going. Go nice and smooth. Make sure to season before serving. This is a ½ teaspoon of kosher salt and a ¼ teaspoon of black pepper. Thank you, Sharing Access. I still have a whole bunch left over to make more soup. And here it is, our beautiful oven roasted orange pepper and tomato soup. It is so delicious. I hope this inspires you to make it at home. Please check out all the videos on my YouTube channel. I have over 475 and I keep making more, so come on back.
Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen. Leave me a comment and let me know how you like the recipe. For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.